There you go.
All right, there you go. All right, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you, Coach Alan Clark, former assistant coach of Platinum Stars, AmaZulu, and Black Leopards. And yeah, the last, highest coaching position that he held here in South Africa was the coaching job, of course, at Black Leopards. How's it, man?
Really, really good, Eggs, and amazing to be interviewed by you and to have a call from South Africa. I'm extremely grateful, and it's lekker to see you.
Absolutely exciting, man. The last time we heard from you, you were leaving for, a coaching job somewhere overseas. So where about in the world are you? Please tell us more about that.
Yeah, so at the moment I'm in Kosovo, out in the Balkan area in Europe, and I joined a club, KF Llapi or FC Llapi, in the Super League of Kosovo. So that's where I am at the moment.
All right. And how is it, man? Are you enjoying it?
Yes, I think it's an incredible experience. I left South Africa to try and broaden my coaching experience and my coaching knowledge, and to try and immerse myself into other cultures and to other ways of doing things in the football world, because I wanted to grow. And yeah, that's what I'm here doing at the moment. I'm enjoying to work with different types of players, a different mentality and a different sort of way of working. And ultimately, I just think it helps me grow as a person and as a coach.
Absolutely, it does. I've already mentioned that you were the assistant coach at AmaZulu, Black Leopards, Platinum Stars. Of course, you've been traveling with Coach Cavin Johnson, who was your head coach all those years, and with all those assistant coaching jobs. How was it working with him, and how did he find you? Mainly, that's what I wanted to ask. How did he find you?
How did he find me?
Yeah.
Well, we met each other on a coaching course. We did our coaching licenses together, our professional license through SAFA. And it was quite an intense course. We spent almost 6 months together in a hotel. So we got to know all of the participants quite well. And we had quite a strong knit group and a strong unity within that group. And during that time, Kevin was appointed the coach at Platinum Stars for the first time. But our sort of working relationship we only really managed to find each other a little bit later on. But I think we struck up a good relationship and a good friendship as well. But I think it goes beyond the friendship, which I think developed actually when we worked together more. I think it was a mutual respect for each other in terms of our football philosophy and the work that both of us do, and what I bring to the table and what he brings to the table. So I was very fortunate to work with who I believe one of the best coaches in South Africa, Cavin Johnson.
And obviously by now,
Okay. No, carry on, sorry.
All right, so obviously by now you know that he's been snapped up by Pitso Msimane to go and assist him at Al Ahly, the biggest football club in South Africa. You think he will thrive there, obviously?
In Africa, yeah. And I speak to Kev. We still stay in touch every week. We phone each other. We become very close after our working relationship. And I was so happy and so proud of him to be at one of the biggest clubs in the world, not only the continent of Africa, but in the world. And what a great job him and Coach Pitso are doing. And they're flying the South African flag proudly overseas. And hopefully many more of us can do this. And what an amazing opportunity for both him and Coach Pitso, and also the other South Africans that have joined them in KB and Muzi.
Yeah, so you've obviously been to KZN because of Coach AmaZulu. You've been to Limpopo coaching Black Leopards. Where did you enjoy yourself?
And Northwest.
Northwest, yes, coaching Platinum Stars. Where did you enjoy yourself the most in South Africa?
Well, I think every club was different, and every club had its own unique challenges and its own unique advantages, to be honest. I think probably to live, my favorite place was definitely the East Coast. To live, I think when you have a young family, we stayed out in the north coast of KZN. It's beautiful. You can't really compare the scenery, the lifestyle, the things that area has to offer. But to be honest with you, I enjoyed myself wherever I've been. It's important to try and make the best of wherever you are, in my opinion.
And your lives as coaches is very interesting because you have to get to travel with the family as well. So how does it work? You've got your kids at school. Now you have to part ways in an amicable manner, because we've seen that happen quite often, and you don't end up seeing out the whole remainder of your contract. So how does it work? Maybe your wife has found a job wherever you are working. and you're supposed to stay there for 5 years, and then 2 years down the line you have to part ways with the team. So how does that actually work for you as the family, and how does it affect the family unit as well?
Yeah, I think that's probably, for me and my family, that's probably our biggest challenge, and I'm sure many other coaches have the same challenge. Is that, you're right. You start your contract, and then 2 years down the line, they want to make a change, and you have to leave amicably, like you say. And yeah, then your family has to move. And for me, my family is very important to me. It's actually my 7th wedding anniversary today with my wife, and she's
that's on Facebook.
yes, her and my family are here with me in Kosovo. And sometimes as coaches, we kind of forget the demands we place on our families. Like you mentioned, I'm very fortunate that I have a very supportive wife and family. And how we've got around it is that, to be honest with you, COVID almost came up with the cure, or the answer for us, is that my wife teaches online. She's a teacher by trade, and so she teaches online in an online school, which allows her to work from anywhere. And then my children, when COVID hit, also started to school online. So it kind of gave us the answer that the family is able to move, and as long as we have internet, they're able to go to school, and my wife's able to work. So yeah, in one moment, that's how it kind of works for us.
So have you ever had to leave your family behind because they're quite busy? Maybe your wife is, or maybe your kids are still at school, and then they have to sit out the rest of the year. Maybe have you ever have to find yourself in that situation where you have to leave your family behind, and then maybe they follow you 1 or 2 years later?
Yeah, so the first 6 months at Amazulu, I was alone. When I came to work at Amazulu, the exact situation, my family was at school in Rustenburg, and my wife was in a job. And I didn't want to take the children out of the school halfway through the year. They had to stay in KZN, in Northwest, until sort of school had finished. And then they were only able to join me at the start of the next year. So for the first 6 months at Amazulu, I was alone. Then also in Limpopo, the same situation, moving to Black Leopards. I was alone there for 6-7 months because, again, they were in school and I didn't want them to move. So, we've had these moments of being apart. It's not the nicest moment for us, but I think now hopefully we have a bit of a solution with regards to that.
All right, many people have been asking themselves, because at the start of the interview, I did mention the fact that you had worked with Coach Cavin Johnson at 3 different clubs. So when the decision came from Black Leopards to part ways with him, you decided to stay behind and take over the head coaching job. What informed that decision for you to say, now I'm ready to be the man that's going to be able to lead a technical team?
Yeah, actually, it's actually four clubs, because I was at Supersport United as well with
Yes.
Coach Cavin. And look, the situation with Black Leopards was a very fluid one, and I came again to join Coach Cavin. When he left, the club asked me if I wouldn't mind to stay on and to take over. They liked the work that I had done. And in one moment, that gives you confidence as a young coach, that you have the support of the board above you and the chairman. And they were always very supportive. I spoke to Cavin as well, because he's someone that I look up to. This wasn't a decision I took without Cavin's knowledge. We spoke about it. And I think Cavin had always been in one moment grooming me to take over in some aspect, whether it was with him or in another role somewhere else. And I have a lot of experience now. I have a lot of knowledge behind me. I've managed to work in Europe before coming here in Europe as well. And there comes a moment that you also want to try and maybe implement your ideas and your philosophy of what you want to do, which is very similar to Cavin's. But, I felt like I was in a mature state. I'm older now. I have a family, a little bit more life experience. And it was a risky, but I think a very brave decision to accept the position as the caretaker head coach at Black Leopards. I think a lot of people might not have taken that and just followed Cavin out the door as well. But I just felt the time was right. It's hard to explain, but I had a feeling that I could do the job. And perhaps it was the support of the management and the chairman to say that, Alan, we believe you're the right man for the job, and that fills you with confidence.
Yeah, it must be difficult actually leaving the guy who's been grooming you like at 4 different clubs, and then when he gets the boot or when he, decides to go in opposite directions with the club, and then they say, okay, now you need to take over his job. I mean, it's a good thing that he actually was okay with it to say, okay, no, man, I believe in you. Just remain behind if you feel like it's the right decision for you. I mean, if he's been supportive, it must have been fantastic because that's a very difficult one to deal with. It might cause a bit of tension between the two coaches as well. Mm.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head, X. It's that it's the emotional maturity and intelligence of someone like Cavin Johnson that says, Alan, I think you can do the job, and I have full faith in you, and you know, um, just just carry on doing what you're doing. And I think that speaks more about Kevin probably than anything else. That's the type of person that he is. His ego doesn't come before his emotional intelligence, and there's something that I value about him as a person, and that's why we're good friends. It's never been about my ego or his ego. We always do the job together, and I respect him a lot. I've learned so much from him. But like any good teacher, there comes a moment when you want your pupil to do more than just learn from you. You want your pupil
Yeah,
to test themselves as well. And I don't think any head coach that is teaching somebody younger than them needs to keep that person below them.
yeah,
That's not the purpose. The purpose is you need to give the baton to someone else to carry on the good work. And I've always said that whatever I achieve in football, it will always be on the shoulders of a giant like Cavin Johnson, and I'll remain true to that all the time. I wouldn't be here without him.
yeah. Absolutely exciting. And also, then you took over the coaching reins at Black Leopards. The team was playing fantastic football, sometimes with great results, sometimes you wouldn't. And you left when everyone least expected. So, I mean, that must have been sad as well, leaving the team in that situation, whereas you were laying a foundation maybe for nice things to come in the future.
Yeah, I think really nice words from you too. It means a lot to me. The style of football that we played, I thought was very attractive. I thought we were playing really good football, maybe a little bit unlucky in moments. Um, and the whole Corona situation, which sort of has changed the world this year, changed the whole dynamic of everything in the football landscape. And we started hearing new words like lockdown and masks and all sorts of other things. So
Yeah, like
yeah,
self isolation.
yeah, bio bubble. These are all
Uh,
new words that we
yeah,
never had before.
yeah,
And look, all I wanted to do was to stay at Black Leopards and complete the job. I still believe very firmly that we laid a very good foundation at the club, and it wasn't as if I wanted to leave the club. But when the offer from Europe came, it was also obviously time sensitive with Corona and also with their leagues restarting, and the PSL had so many delays. It was unsure of where it was going to start or when it wasn't. Um,
it
so I
kept
was left with a
dragging,
very difficult
dragging,
decision.
dragging.
Sorry, X?
I'm saying it kept dragging. They would say
Yes.
starting in the next 2 weeks, and then they postpone, and then there was like a state of uncertainty. So you had to make a decision very quickly as well.
Yes, 100%. And you can't keep your next employer on the line hoping that the league finishes. There has to come a point when you have to leave. I felt like I made the best decision for the club, not just for Alan. And I think that manifests itself in how Black Leopards managed to survive. I think it would have been catastrophic for the club had halfway through the bio bubble I had decided to leave. And again, I also left in a very good way with the chairman, with his blessing. I spoke to him about it and explained to him the offer. And I mean, I've spoken to him since, and I congratulated the team and watched all of their games in the bio bubble.
Mm.
Um, my heart is still very much with Black Leopards because they were very kind and very brave to give me the opportunity to showcase what I could do as a head coach. And again, I still believe what the work that we did up until the bio bubble lends itself to them making sure that they survive relegation. I think everybody else did a really good job to carry on and to keep with it through very, very difficult times, pressurized situations, and yeah, the coaching staff did a great job. And it's I'm very happy for the club. I feel like it was the right decision to leave at the right time
All
for the
right,
club.
amazing. Are we seeing you anytime soon back in the PSL? Maybe would you like to coach in the PSL in future?
Yeah, I mean, South Africa is my home, Eggs. It wasn't an easy decision to leave home. I left when I was young once before to go explore a little bit in Europe and to play football in England. But South Africa is always my home, and I'm South African through and through. I've even tried to introduce the concept and the ethos of Ubuntu here at our club, because I feel like it's a great South African ethos to let the rest of the world know about. And if I have the opportunity one day with a little bit more experience and knowledge under my belt to come back to South Africa and coach, yes, of course, I'd love to. That's my country, and yeah, I want to contribute to South African football and football development as much as I can.
All right, that's absolutely exciting. And now, last two questions. Your dream coaching job in the world?
Dream coaching job, without a doubt, the head coach of Tottenham Hotspur. That would be my
Yes,
dream coaching job.
I saw that you support the club.
I do.
That was going to be my next question. How well do you think they're going to do this season, considering the current situation that they find themselves in? I mean, they've got some top players, they've got a top coach, and things seems to be going so well for them.
Yeah, I think it's been a great start to the season so far. As a fan, I was a little bit unsure of whether Jose Mourinho would bring the type of football that the Spurs fans sort of are used to and would expect. And last season, at the end of last season, I think it was a little bit shaky. But I think the club has made some great signings in Højbjerg. I think he's been really good for the club. Some good cover in Vinicius for Harry Kane as well. And for me personally, it's been great to see someone like Gareth Bale come back to the club. So, I mean, things are looking good, Eggs, and you have a manager with a proven track record of winning things. So I'm hoping Tottenham Hotspur can break this trophy drought a little bit. I'll be very, very happy. And so far, it's going very well, and long may it continue.
The game is about glory. Come on, your Spurs.
Yep, that's it.
All
you know.
Absolutely. That's like one of our favorite teams in South Africa. I mean, Bongani Khumalo, Mbulelo Mabizela, David Pienaar, they all play for the club. So we all
100%.
keen interest. So, man, congratulations. I mean, and also all the best of luck from me and the whole Playabets team with whatever it is that you're doing over there, overseas. And hopefully, it yields the desired results and you become a success.
Thank you so much, Eggs, and it's wonderful for me to connect with you guys. And thank you so much for having me on your platform. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, man. No worries.
Thank you. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Bye.